Hi, my name is Carmen Graham. I'm a child and family social worker with 20 years experience specialising in foster and adoption, supporting families in understanding trauma by using therapeutic interventions to create healthy families. So, today's topic is parenting in the moment. During this difficult time, it's important to think about how we manage difficulties when parenting our children. As mentioned in previous videos, there'll be times you'll feel really stretched. Your children, teenagers and young adults may be lashing out, overactive, feeling frustrated, angry, disillusioned. They're presenting in low moods, lack of interaction, and maybe they're just isolating themselves. The question that I want you to think about is, what do you do in the moment when you're faced with your children or young people and they're breaking the boundaries and they're just not listening? So my suggestion is there's two elements that I'd like you to focus on today. One is self-care, and the second one is strategies that could be used to manage the behaviour. So self-care, let's think about that. Rather than rush in and try and put in consequences and getting into a heated argument, think about your emotions and where you are with your emotional thermometer. You ask the question, what is a thermometer? Well, if you think 0 to 10, 0 being calm and 10 being really angry, where do you see yourself when you're in the midst of an argument? Once you recognise where your emotions are, try and manage your feelings, understand what your trigger points are, and think about taking a break to dealing with the issues at hand. So let me give you an example. Your young person or your daughter or son, they've said to you they're going to do their homework, and they've gone inside, they're in their room, they're typing up their timetable, and then all of a sudden you think, 20 minutes has gone past, let me go back inside. You go back inside and then you realise they're on their phone. So you've just said to them, why are you on your phone? This then escalates into, I wasn't on my phone, I was just checking on something on my phone, and then you get into the argument, I told you need to do your homework, and that gets into a real battle. Take it a step back now and think to yourself, why was you angry in the first place? Is it about lack of trust? Is it because they were lying? And at that moment, when you're having that heated discussion, you forget that they were actually just thinking about homework. You're actually now arguing about a lie. So think about your feelings and think about where you are. And if it's a 10, think to yourself, how can I regulate myself before I have a discussion with them? So, for younger children, I would say to you, if you need to take a break and step away so that you're not really, really angry, ensure that they're in a safe place. Put them in a place where you wouldn't have to worry that they'll be at harm. Don't leave them unsupervised. And at this point where you're feeling really, really angry, as I've said in other videos, take a deep breath, regulate your emotion, and see where you are and why you're annoyed. So one of the things that we think about when we're parenting the moment is notice what's happening in that moment. So you realised you're at a 10. You realised that the argument was because of a lie. And you realised you're annoyed because your trust was broken. So understand what's happening in the moment. Think about how you can regulate that child. So they're probably defensive because they're thinking, I don't want to get found out. I know I shouldn't be on social media. And then that escalates and it's almost a defense. They're embarrassed and they're feeling quite shameful. So they've put up a defense mechanism. What you want to do is give them some space to think about how they're feeling. Whilst they calm down, you calm down. You then think to yourself, okay, so once they're calmed down and you've calmed down, let's try and be curious. So let's go back to that same example. You caught them on the phone and instead of being angry, let's think about, okay, what was actually going on? So I'm going to ask them and be curious. I wonder why you were on the phone. Why do you feel that you need to be on the phone right now when you said to me you're going to do your homework? They may actually give you a reasonable answer, or they might just lie. The point is, you just want to be curious to find out what's going on in their world. You want to have an understanding. And what we often say is the internal world of a child, you want to find out what's going on in their mind. You want to be mindfulness about what's happening inside of them. When you get an understanding and you're curious and they then will think, well, why is my parents being so understanding? Or why is my caregiver being so understanding? Then try and think about accepting where they are, accepting that maybe they did lie, accepting maybe they did do wrong. And that's where we come connect and correct, which is the two hands. One is connect, one is correct. One is making a relationship and building a relationship with your young person or your child. And the other one is being able to say, actually, I really wanted you to do your homework. And the important thing about doing your homework is it will allow you to go on and progress. So I just really wanted the best for you. But you want the two hands. You don't want to be harsh without building a relationship. The other thing could be somebody's decided to take a cup, the cup's broken. Now it's only two of you in the room. So it means that somebody broke the glass. What you can then say is explain, be curious, why did it happen? It could have been an accident. It might have been something that's memorable for you. But remember where you are. Where is your thermometer? What is the meaning behind it? And is it really important to be angry at that point in time? Do you want to reach out to them? So when we're thinking about that, and we often say it's tricky stages, isn't it? It's tricky stages of when young people or children, they just don't want to be found out. And as an adult, you feel really angry that they could be lying to you. And as a young person, you might actually be feeling, well, I just don't want my parents to hassle me. I just don't want the hassle. And I'm just frightened if I say something wrong, they're going to come again with something else. And then it's going to layer and layer and layer. So really what you want to do is connect and correct. You want to build that relationship. And once you've built that relationship, we often call that rupture and repair. So once you've had that difficult conversation, you've connected, you've corrected, you want to repair that relationship. So you want a bit of humour, you want a bit of laughter, you want to build that quality time together again. The most important thing is recognising where you are as a parent or a caregiver. And also to be it's almost internalise and actually get an insight into what that child or young person is going through. Only when two people are able to see what's going on, then both sides have empathy. I'm not saying that this is the thing that will change everything, but it will allow us to understand that sometimes when we rush in and our anger is so high, we can't see what the difficulties are in front of us, and also have empathy to what that young person and what that child is doing. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please write it in the comment box. And remember to subscribe to our channel for much more exciting videos, and I want to thank you again.